What is going on, Rockets fans? It is Randy here, and we are back for week number 7 with GBA Season 9. I am your coach of the Houston Team Rockets, and this week we are going up against KYLEAYE, coach of the Miami Donphans. So if you guys do not know who Kyle is already, his channel is in the description. It definitely brings the heat no matter what. He's not having the best season so far. He's yet to get a win, but he's one of the guys I genuinely really like in the community because, like, no matter what the result is, he's gonna have fun and he doesn't care what happens, man. Like, if the battle's cool, he's gonna love it. And I wish, I could be more like that, because honestly, sometimes when I lose games, I don't feel as into it. I take losses well. I just don't feel as good as if I were to win, which is, I think it's fair to say for mostly everybody. But let's just wish something I can do a little better about myself. But other than that, it's gonna be a fun matchup. Obviously, it's a little bit more of a chill week for us because Kyle isn't really in contention. He's also in the other conference, so I mean, if there was a game to lose, it'd be this one. Yeah, so I mean, like, because in 2 weeks we play Aster, or it might be next week. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I have to double check schedule. But that game's gonna be huge. So I kind of want to take a little bit of a step back and not be so stressed out, because last week against Tom, I was like stressing about the build because his team was just stupid to prep against, and this team is also annoying to prep against when I was doing prep. I didn't prep as much for this game. I actually did a live team builder on stream, so hopefully he didn't catch it, or he doesn't catch it, or whatever. So, or else I'm kind of screwed there. But I mean, like, the team matchups are just annoying. Like, recently, like, I'm sure my opponents are annoyed too by my team, but like, it's just so hard to build for like the most recent opponents. It's just really weird, Like, the team doesn't look as good like by itself on paper, but like this matching up, it's actually kind of annoying. So that was kind of bad. About last week's videos, if you guys didn't catch any of our week 6 action, make sure you go and check it out. It was a pretty long battle, so I really appreciate y'all if y'all made it through it. But it was a very, very wild game. We actually got the magic to come through and hacks Tom a little bit to pick up the win. So that was really cool, and that win was huge because now, real quick before I'm about to show the standings for week 6, and in case you didn't see any of the action or don't want to get spoiled from week 6, please stop the video now and go watch their videos, because I'm about to show the standings for our conference. But here it is. This is the standings after 6 weeks of action. This is our entire conference. So of course your Rockets are leading the way in the Alcala division. Now Aster is right there behind us. Thank God that Danza was able to beat him last week, because if Aster had won, we'd still be tied, and I guess depending on how much he won by, he actually may have taken our #1 seed in our division, at least. So that's something to note there. So we're actually first overall in the conference. Like, we tied with Cybertron, and of course this league, or in most leagues, they don't do head-to-head. They always do differential because it's more consistent. So we would be the 1 seed, and then the 2 seed would be Jolt's. No, 2 seed would be, well, actually it goes by division winners first, so it would be me and then Cybertron no matter what, and then it would actually be Jolt and then Aster. So if playoffs started today, it would be me against Aster and Jolt against Cybertron. So obviously our only loss so far has been to Cybertron. We haven't played Aster yet, and then Jolt, we hacked them. So honestly, like, I'm hoping we can meet Cybertron again in the first round, or like, I'd prefer to play Cybertron over Jolt, because I feel like Jolt will step it up a lot in builds. Not that Cybertron wouldn't, because the matchup against him is really, really tough. So I mean, I don't think it matters who I face in round 1. Like, it's gonna be a hard match for sure. Like, I'm gonna have to go all out and build. So I mean, no matter what happens, I just want to get a shot at the tournament and hopefully, hack our way to victory. But it's looking really hard for us to miss playoffs at this point. Like, unless Danza, or I guess Nexus or Necro, someone has to come out of nowhere and start making some stuff, make some noise. But bar any crazy sort of shenanigans, I think we're going to be okay for playoffs. So I mean, that's just where we're at standings wise. So let's go ahead and jump into the team builder. Finally back with our layout. Added the Z crystal labels, so that way y'all can see. But you can see Kyle's team at the bottom. His team is pretty annoying, actually. Like, the good thing is his Ubers are somewhat underwhelming. Like, don't get me wrong, SD Blazer can tear apart my roster, because like, it can run dual chop and I will just shred Latias, and then HJK shred Suicune, but I can carry Protect for that. Like, Life Orb Flare Blitz does a crap ton to Fable if I were to bring Unaware anyway. Like there's some offensive threats that are just super threatening and cannot be ignored. But of course there's equalizers on my team as well. Infernape is really good against them. Even though I almost didn't bring it because like my initial build was crazy, but again with a live stream build I was able to get some help. So there's a set later on you're gonna see I'm gonna credit somebody, so make sure you stick around for that and check out their channel. It'll be in the description below. I told y'all to check them out last week, so hopefully you guys check them out this week if you didn't already. But then again, if the set fails, you can go trash talk to him if you want to you know, to blame him for the loss if it doesn't work out. But leading the way, we have Scarf, Yveltal, same, you know, set as last week essentially. Modded Scarf, Heat Wave, and Defog. Defog to get rid of potential sticky webs, because sticky webs are actually kind of annoying for the team. It's actually not too annoying, but given that we're bringing an Infernape that needs to avoid the webs, it's probably imperative that we have an answer to the webs, especially if he just wants to lead webs and get them out of the way. You know, Scarf Heat Wave is obviously needed for the Klefki. It also does damage, pretty damn good damage to the Excadrill as well. But then of course Dark Pulse and Oblivion Wing are pretty self-explanatory. His dark resists aren't all that great. Like I said, Klefki is his only true resist. Although Aurora Break Zygarde ignores the boost. It actually makes it even worse. So my dark moves are not boosted by 1.33. They're reduced by 33%, which really sucks. So I guess Zygarde could actually be a legitimate switch into my Dark Pulse. So that kind of sucks, but Oblivion Wing's still doing a good chunk, and we're getting back some good recovery from that as well. But the speed here is to outpace, I believe, an Adamant Scarf Drill, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Adamant Scarf Drill, I believe, is what we have it EV'd for, because, I mean, Jolly Scarf isn't all that threatening. I feel like Adamant was a lot more threatening, so we just wanted to do that. Really self-explanatory, nothing else to explain here. You can make the case for U-turn, like for Celebi, but I needed Defog. I just felt it was important to have that option in case webs are annoying for the team. So, next up, we have the Infernape running double Scarf again, like we did against Tom. And Scarf Ape, which is really good to outpace the Greninja, outpace a potential Scarf Drill, outpace, and this outspeeds Jolly Drill, by the way, so Scarf Drill will be outsped by this no matter what kind of Scarf it is. You know, being able to outspeed Thundurus, being able to the Oko Klefki, outspeed Swallow, you know, it's very nice to have that. And of course Mach Punch is to out prioritize the Water Shuriken if he isn't Scarf Greninja, which I could very well see coming because of this Pokemon. But if he were to bring Sticky Web, then he probably might not need to bring that. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know what... There's really no way to know what Kyle will run. There's just no way to know. I can only prep for the Mon itself, not for the set it would bring. I mean, he wouldn't be insane to bring, like, a special, like, Excadrill. He wouldn't be that insane. He would probably bring something physical and standard. But, I mean, like, that's just an example. Like, we have to be prepared for almost anything. So that's why I'm bringing Mach Punch, Iron Fist. U-turn, obviously, is, you know, pretty nice to have. Nothing else really to explain. Again, we outrun Scarf Jolly Drill, and that's really all I need to do. And then Adamant Nature just smacks around as well. Next up, we have the Suicune, another like brainless set, just enough speed to outrun. I believe that is a what am I outspeeding here? I don't remember what I outsped. I don't remember what it was. But, I mean, the case is, this is my switch into Drill. I can actually switch into Drill, an extra Mon to deal with Zygarde, and an extra Mon to deal with Protein Greninja as well. It's just a nice little defensive wall, if anything. Like, I could have probably ran a better set. Like, I probably could have run, like, I guess, Toxic but, I mean, Calm Mind was just fine to help beat down Klefki. Worst case, Protect is nice to, you know, bait the high jump kick, scout what he wants to do, maybe stall out a screen turn if he runs screens. Like, it just made sense. Like, it's just kind of a sponge to take hits and then pivot around and see other things because, like, I don't know. Like, I just felt like it was a great Mon. And it actually does have a chance to do some Calm Mind shenanigans if I get it on the right Mon. Especially if he's like a defensive Celebi. Like, if he brings like Giga Drain or Leaf Storm, then I can set up on that 1v1, assuming I can outspeed it in case he has a status boost or something like that. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have the Clefable, which is actually the first time you're all seeing Clefable on this little team build thing here, which is pretty neat. This is my sort of answer to Dragon Dance Zygarde. It's my answer to SD Blaziken, Thundurus. I guess it's somewhat of an answer to Blastoise as well. Somewhat of an answer to like a Scarf Swallow, I guess, if he's Boom Burst, but it's definitely not a switch into Specs or a Gut set. But overall, I mean, like, Wish Pass is something I really don't like bringing. Like, as good as it is, just for someone like me, I feel like it's so predictable, and I can just get like tossed on a prediction. Like I don't know, wish I've always had struggle with, but in this matchup, I feel like it's really, really good. Especially considering I'm bringing a lot of bulk in this matchup, a little bit more of a passive build than I'm used to. And knockoff's just really, really good to knock off scarves, leftovers, potential like damage reducing berries. I think knockoff's really, really good. And then of course Moonblast spam is actually pretty decent against them, given that his resists aren't all that great. I mean, he has 2 pretty damn good ones, but besides that, I mean, like, you don't want switching Greninja, you don't want to switch Zygarde, Blaze, Blastoise, it's really, really solid. I almost considered an offensive Clef, but I mean, just drill coming in at any time just makes it really hard to do, so opted to just skip out on that. Next up, we have the Hippowdon, Stealth Rocks, max defense, absolute max defense. We're not EVing for Spadef because we want to be able to check a Gut Swallow. We want to check a Scarf Drill slash, like Band Drill. We want to check a SD Blaziken. Like we already have enough special walls in Clefable and Suicune to where we're okay. And then Stone Edge is there to hit Thundurus in case he tries to nasty plot on me. Stone Edge really is kind of worthless, I guess, but like there's really no other move worth running. I think Toxic a little too slow, especially considering he has some decent setup threats. Like I could have ran like Whirlwind, I suppose, but I think Stone Edge was just safer. Like Ice Fang would have been neat too, but the problem with Ice Fang, like on Zygarde, is that if he were to bring like a weakness policy set, Ice Fang is doing way too little, and he can get up a boost without even like taking all that much damage. So that's why I felt Ice Fang was a little bit riskier. It probably was the safer bring because it actually does decent damage to Thundurus as well. But I mean, I just want to get immediate damage on the Thundurus with Stone Edge and hopefully revenge it with like Mach Punch or just Scarf any attack. So that's kind of the reasoning for that. Running Sand Force because if Kyle is the real one, he could potentially bring like Sand Rush Drill and just take advantage with SD or like Band or Life Orb or something. So I don't want to risk it. It's also kind of important I don't bring Sand because I'm bringing Clefable and I'm bringing Suicune, and those two want to keep their leftovers pretty intact. We're not bringing Magic Guard, Clefable, and Suicune would benefit. I mean, I normally wouldn't care. Like Sand Chip might be useful against them, but I just don't want to risk KYLEAYE being a Flex Master, bro. And he's gonna be a Flex Master, not necessarily in that regard. He might not bring the Sand Rush. That would be extremely risky if he did that. But who knows, man? He's playing for fun, so he could try to do that. But this next mon here, this final Pokemon is, I would consider it a win con. I would. But it's just so whack, and I hope it works out, man. Like, this set was suggested by REWT8100. I don't know why I say the numbers, but his name's REWT. Good pal of mine. Please, guys, go check him out. Get him to 400 subs. Like, do that for me, please. Like, please. Show him support, man. This set is pretty cool. Now, if it fails, feel free to go unsubscribe to that guy. But, I mean, like, on paper, the set's not terrible. And that set is this Porygon 2 right here. Curse, Ice Beam, Facade, Recover. The spread, I believe, allows us not to get 2-hit KO'd by like, it allows us to set up on Band Zygarde is what it does. Like, I don't take enough from the first one, I can curse on the second one and then be able to recover the damage off. I believe that's what I had the spread do, and then I dump the rest into Spadef. That way I can take hits better from Thundurus and Greninja, which would be the only real ways to try to revenge this. Or I guess Spec Swallow. That would be the only way to revenge it if I get up multiple curses on him. And if I get up curses, then Facade's actually breaking through his steel types pretty easily, especially considering that his Excadrill would probably want to try to bring SD to break through me, but it can't break through me if he's not SD. And then Klefki likely will have some sort of status move, whether it be Thunder Wave or Toxic. And if he statuses my P2, I believe I need like a +3 or maybe a +4, no attack investment, to just straight up OHKO the Drill and the Klefki, which is freaking insane. He's gonna have to bring status somewhere. Like, his fighting type's Blaziken, yeah, but we imagine that maybe Drill might have it if he's like Stealth Rock Toxic lead, or I guess Klefki could bring it to Celebi maybe, or I guess Persian, or I don't know what he can bring to have Toxic, because I would imagine he has to bring on something, because P2 kind of sits in front of his team if he were to, only bring Blaziken. Like, if he only brings Blaziken, even then, like, P2 can probably do something. But against Blaziken, like, I'd have to get up to like +3 to be safe, or +4. Now, I almost considered running Conversion over Ice Beam. That way I can change myself to a Ghost type to be free of Blaziken's Wrath, but that would just be awful. And I was told to consider Substitute over Ice Beam, but I just want to be able to beat a Coil Zygarde in case he brings Coil. Like, I think Ice Beam is just a lot safer because it's actually kind of clickable too against Thundurus and I guess Drill before I start cursing, I guess. But I don't know, Ice Beam was just safer in case of Coil Zygarde, in case I want to get off that strong hit, because I am analytic. I'm going to be slower than everything on this team, so that boost is going to be very useful to have. But on paper, this set actually kind of works, but will it actually work? We don't know. We're going to have to find out in the game. But that is the team, y'all. That is the team I'm bringing against Kyle. Again, a bit more of a passive build than I'm used to. I'm not bringing Latias this week, which is kind of whack for me. But its matchup was so-so. I thought it was pretty decent, but we ended up just squeezing in 3 Fatmons, like 3 like sponges, and then I guess P2 for setup. And then of course we have double Scarf to try to do some breaking to help out with P2. But that is the squad. Tomorrow the game will go live. I'll have to see what time we end up scheduling for that once we battle. But hope you guys enjoyed the team builder. Make sure you check out everyone I linked in the description. You know, KYLEAYE, he's our opponent. And please check out REWT because this set's pretty neat. I'm really hoping it can actually do something. But besides that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow for the game. Go Rockets.